Saudi Arabia has issued a royal decree to appoint Princess Rima bint Bandar Al Saud as the kingdom's ambassador to the United States. Princess Rima will replace Khalid bin Salman Al Saud, who was appointed in April 2017. She is the first woman in the Saudi Arabian government to have been chosen for this post. Also, Khalid bin Salman will join the country's defense ministry as deputy minister. Prince Khalid is the younger full brother of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who is the defense minister. For more on that, we are joined by Nasser Al-Omari, writer and political commentator, joining us live from New York. Well, Mr. Omari, a while ago, moves like this coming from the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman would have translated into a progressive leader who was trying to open up a traditional country towards the new world and bring about changes, giving women more power in a country where until very recently women were not even allowed to drive. But maybe the murder of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi shed some light on what the true nature of this government is. What is your analysis of the situation and appointing one of the princesses of the House of Saud as the ambassador to the U.S.?
Yeah, it seems that the Crown Prince is still trying to win the West over, trying to convince the Americans that he's seeking reform, that his agenda of empowering women and reforming the country is still underway. Of course, we know that is not going to be helpful, understanding what's happening in the United States and the decisions that the Congress has taken and the assessment of the CIA, which seems to be shared now by the Congress and by the elite in Washington, seems to make all of this effort futile. It's not working. And it seems that Crown Prince is moving in the direction of completing his takeover of power in Saudi Arabia by appointing his full brother as the defense minister. And all of this looks like he has not been deterred by the European Union's decision to place Saudi Arabia in the blacklist, accusing the country of supporting terrorism and money laundering. So it seems that the Crown Prince is going full speed ahead with the transition of power, which will have serious consequences, for Saudi Arabia.
Mr. Omari, what do we know about Princess Rima, her educational background and her credentials? Is she actually fit for this post, or is it simply Saudi Arabia trying to portray itself in a better light after what happened to the dissident journalist Jamal Khashoggi?
No qualifications whatsoever. She's as qualified as her predecessor, Prince Khalid, or for that matter, as qualified as Crown Prince Mohammed, who lacks experience in government. But that doesn't matter in Saudi Arabia. This is a family enterprise. This woman came from a sports background and from the private sector, pretty much unknown in Saudi Arabia. Maybe her only qualification is that her father has been making statements in support of Crown Prince Mohammed. Her father is a renowned diplomat, Saudi diplomat, well known in Washington. So this is an effort to say that it's business as usual and the Saudi royal family is still loyal and trying to please the Americans. But we know that politically this is not going to work. in the United States.
Now, Mr. Omari, finally, my last question, we're running also out of time, but since you mentioned the stance of the U.S. houses regarding Saudi Arabia's war on Yemen, do you believe that the presence of Princess Rima in the United States will in a way soften the stance that U.S. lawmakers have taken towards Saudi Arabia?
Highly unlikely. The statements coming from both Republicans and Democrats have made it clear that they want the Trump administration to move more aggressively against the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. So this is cosmetic, and it seems the Crown Prince thinks that this might appease or empower Mr. Trump to continue supporting him. I doubt that this will work out.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nasser Al-Omari, writer and political commentator, joining us live from New York with his elaborations regarding Saudi Arabia's most recent change, sending one of the princesses to the United States as the ambassador of Saudi Arabia.